I remember you.
There were 7 days left in my summer vacation.
On our next day off, let's all go to the beach, huh? Just the three of us.
I definitely remembered someone saying that to me. The three of us. Who in the world were the three? I'd forgotten everything. Then, when I stood in front of Sora, I remembered. I thought I remembered everything. But there was actually something I hadn't remembered. Something really important. Way back, I didn't really know anything. And Axel had just explained what a summer vacation was. It was on my first day off since I joined the organization. Though, if I told people like Sora that even the organization had vacation days, they would probably look at me funny. All of a sudden, I was told I had a day off, and I couldn't find anything to do. So I was eating sea salt ice cream at the top of the clock tower. Axel arrived, and together, we watched Hayner's group play in front of the plaza. Back then, I didn't know the names of Hayner and the others yet.
Are the kids here on summer vacation already? Nah, can't be. It's much too early.
Summer vacation? What's that?
It's a dream come true, that's what. They get a whole month off.
A month off? I wouldn't know what to do with that much time.
You'd be surprised. They give you plenty of homework, and of course, you have to play with your friends every day.
When we talked about things like this, it was weird that Axel had memories from when he was human, and I didn't have any. It made me uneasy.
Most kids spend the time just goofing off with their friends.
That sounds fun, I guess.
Hanging around with friends is fun. I'd forgotten all that since becoming a nobody, I guess.
That probably meant Axel had friends when he was human. I thought Axel was my only friend. But I remembered. At the time, I intended to leave the organization.
Your mind's made up?
Even Axel's question didn't stop me, because I didn't trust him anymore.
Why did the Keyblade choose me? I have to know.
You can't turn to the organization. You get on their bad side and they'll destroy you.
No one would miss me.
After saying this, I started walking.
That's not true.
I would.
But I had no destination. I didn't know where to go. So I ended up on my usual spot, the clock tower. The one who arrived after me was the girl I forgot for a long time.
Shion! Thank you.
Even if I'm not ready, I have to make this choice. You've poured so many memories into me, given me so much, that I feel like I'm about to overflow. Look at me, Roxas. Who do you see? If you see somebody else's face, a boy's face, then that means I'm almost ready. This puppet will have to play her part. Roxas. This is him. It's Sora.
With her hood removed, I saw that Shion wasn't Shion. Her face had changed into someone I'd never seen before. And this person was the one that I've been wanting to meet.
You're next, Roxas. I have to make you a part of me too. Don't you see? That's why I was created.
With her coat thrown off, Shion was a puppet. I didn't want to fight her, but she attacked me. As I was fighting, I began to lose what I knew. Who was I fighting? I was rapidly forgetting things that were important to me. Before I knew it, an unfamiliar girl with black hair was collapsing in front of me.
Who are you? Again? It's weird. I feel like I'm forgetting something really important.
The girl slowly opened her eyes.
You'll be better off now, Roxas.
I held her up.
Am I the one who did this to you?
No. It was my choice to go away now. Better that than to do nothing and let Xemnas have his way.
The girl put her hand on mine.
Goodbye, Roxas. See you again. I'm glad I got to meet you. Oh, and of course, Axel, too. You're both my best friends. Never forget. That's the truth.
In that moment, I remembered Shion.
No! Shion! Who else will I have ice cream with?
But she was disappearing.
Shion.
All that remained of her was the Thalassa shell. And I wanted to get Shion back. So I fought Riku. I lost all my memories, and then I was in Twilight Town. But when I stood before Sora, I thought I remembered, but that wasn't true.
It's alright. You can stop now. It's alright.
Shion.
Now, I remember everything. I remember you, Shion.
Say what you will.
What is a heart, ultimately? What does it mean to be a friend? Do connections between hearts have meaning? Maybe to me, it has meaning to feel that the time I spend here like this is precious. The time spent simply watching the setting sun and eating ice cream is so peaceful and wonderful. What is the organization? What is a heart? Hey, you, sitting next to me. What do you think? I've never asked you, but I can just imagine it. Imagining it gives me a slightly painful, yet warm feeling. But I suppose all the heroes of the Keyblade were right after all. It's as if there's sweetness and saltiness inside my chest, like the flavor of this ice cream. Preparing the puppets was meant to help us atone, but I don't even know who I wanted to make amends to. Maybe I wanted to make amends to the person I used to be. Back then, we believed we could do anything. We thought we could rescue that girl together. I don't know how things ended up like they did. You used to be a crybaby. Before I knew it, the marks under your eyes that stopped you from crying disappeared, and you began to make friends other than me and laughed with them. Ultimately, I was just being obstinate. I was a fool who was being used. Even though, in some respects, I always believed in you. So now we're here, side by side watching the sunset and eating sea salt ice cream. In the end, you're still a crybaby. But you don't need those upside-down tear marks anymore. Just like you don't need me anymore. Yes, I thought I wasn't someone you wanted around any longer. That's why I sacrificed myself for that man. If you don't need me anymore, then there's nothing left for me. But in reality, I was wrong. It wasn't about needing or not needing. If just our hearts are connected, that's all that matters. Roxas and Shion laugh next to us, and the children from Twilight Town have joined us as well, so it's just a little noisy here. Normally, you would be noisy too, but you're simply watching them fondly. The gaze you're sending their way is kind and warm. Next to you, I eat the sweet and salty ice cream. It tastes the same as it did back in Radiant Garden when we were young. I never imagined a future like this, sitting side by side and eating ice cream. Being the crybaby is supposed to be your specialty, and yet, the sunset stings my eyes.
I will not forget you. You will need to follow your memories, trust what you remember, and seek what you forget. Then you will find someone very special. Our most precious memories lie so deep within our hearts that they're out of reach.
This yours?
I'd picked up an odd-shaped sword made of wood. Now I know that the wooden sword was probably made to look like a keyblade. But back then, I didn't know anything about keyblades. So I had no idea.
Lee, we don't have time for this.
Nearby, Isa nagged me to hurry up.
Line up, Isa. It'll only take a sec.
You've really been the kind of guy with no flexibility and no sense of fun since way back then, huh?
You still play with toy swords? That's cute.
After I handed it to the golden-haired kid who seemed to be its owner, I took out my discs.
Now this right here, ta-da! What do you think?
These bright red discs were my favorite.
Not a whole lot.
You're just jealous. I'm Lee. Got it memorized? What's your name?
I quickly retorted, and then bent at the waist, pointing to my own head and bringing my face closer to his all at once.
Ventus.
Okay, Ventus, let's fight.
That was when we first met. In the end, I lost. I mean, if I think about it objectively, there's no way I could have been a Keyblade wielder back then.
I'll see ya when I see ya. After all, we're friends now. Get it memorized.
Okay, Lee.
And then we parted ways. Isa spoke to me in an exasperated tone.
What is it with you and picking up stray puppies?
I want everybody I meet to remember me. Inside people's memories, I can live forever.
A wry smile appeared on Isa's face.
I know I won't forget you. Believe me, I try all the time.
See? I'm immortal.
You're obnoxious.
Back then, we didn't know that things could disappear from our memories. Memories are vague, and sometimes they're rewritten. Since then, I haven't seen Ventus even once. The setting sun was red again today. When my daily training was done, I always watched the sunset from the top of the hill in the secret forest.
Bet you don't know why the sun sets red. You see, light is made up of lots of colors, and out of all those colors, red is the one that travels the farthest.
Like I asked, know-it-all.
I remember telling Roxas this back then, at the top of the clock tower on day 255. But I just know there was something else important to me back then, and I can't remember what. I know I need to remember something, but I don't know what that something is. The setting sun stung my eyes. Lately, I'd been just a bit of a crybaby. Could it be because the upside-down tears had disappeared from my face?
Hey, Axel.
I turned my head at the voice calling from behind me. Kyrie was standing there in new clothes.
Hey, liking the look. Cut your hair, too.
So, you gonna try yours on?
I don't know. Maybe later.
But you always wear the same thing.
It was true. I'd been wearing this black coat for a long time.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is how you pick me out of a crowd. I make myself easy to remember.
How thoughtful.
Nah, not really.
Kyrie's comment made me embarrassed, just a bit. She sat down next to me and we watched the sunset.
Our training's almost finished.
Yeah.
Somewhere inside me is Namine. If we can free Roxas, we can free her too.
I guess so.
After that, we talked about all kinds of things. I even talked to her about Ventus. I never told anyone about him before. I was afraid if I did tell someone, I'd never see them again. Just like Ventus. So, I told no one.
Think you still got me memorized?
Oh yeah, very memorized.
Kyrie jokingly mimicked my favorite pose. It made me laugh.
Now that we're going back, I'm worried about everything.
Well, you don't have to worry alone anymore, Axel.
And as we sat there, the sun continued to set. Just like back then.
Dusk till dawn. Did you hear the rumors about the ghost?
Pence asked us in the usual spot.
We have a ghost train and a haunted mansion. There are ghosts everywhere in this town.
I heard about it too.
I answered the question feeling fed up with the idea of ghosts, and Olette responded in a quiet, worried tone.
No. The ghost in the pitch black coat ended up being Sora's friend. We've had ice cream with him.
But this time, it really is a ghost. A girl in a white dress will be walking through town. But if you run after her, she disappears.
What?
I was puzzled. Something bothered me about this girl in the white dress.
By any chance, does this girl have blonde hair?
You know all about her, huh? Have you seen her before?
I don't think that girl's a ghost. Maybe.
I crossed my arms and thought about it, and Pencilette looked at me. It was only a vague feeling, but it did feel like I knew that girl. Just a hunch. Though, I hope that girl gets to have sea salt ice cream with us on the clock tower someday. Surely someday.
Another dream.
Besides Kairi and Riku, there was one other girl I was friends with. The four of us played together all the time.
This was a memory of Sora's that I made up. That scene comes to my mind. The waves breaking on the shore. The white sand. Behind me, boys were fighting each other with sticks. I stood and began walking towards the bridge. Then, I sat at the edge of the bridge and gazed at the horizon. I closed my eyes. The only thing I could hear was the sound of the waves.
What are you doing over here, Namine?
I turned toward the voice calling from behind me. Sora was standing there.
The wind feels nice. I wish I could ride the wind wherever it goes.
I replied, looking at him.
This? Again?
I laughed. Sora and the others were building a raft. They planned to use it to go to the outside world.
You ever want to go back?
Sora asked as he sat next to me. Go back? Where? Where would I want to go back to? The place I always wanted to return to was this sandy white beach. This place where I could always hear the sound of waves. But the truth is, the real me, well, I guess I wanted to return to this beach too, didn't I?
If there are any other worlds out there, I want to see them all.
Sora continued. That's right. Sora has already seen all kinds of worlds. And he's met a lot of people and made a lot of connections and memories. I knew just a little about the fragments of those memories.
Hey, aren't you guys forgetting about me?
I turned my head at the voice and saw Riku standing there, and Kairi was behind him. This was a fake memory of how the four of us played together all the time.
So, I guess we're the only ones working on the raft?
Riku looked over his shoulder at her. There was a smile on her face, which looked just a little like mine. This place was a special world. A world from which someone left on a trip a very long time ago. An important place within people's memories. I really wish everyone could return to this place. So why aren't they able to? Is what I see an illusion or a dream? Could this be the world I wished for? Or a world that someone else wished for? I don't know the answer. I wonder what happened to that sketchbook I used to draw in. I can hear the sound of the waves. The sound begins to sink into my memories. The only thing I can hear forever is the waves.
Hole in my heart.
I wanted to become you. I was jealous of you. Who was I? Did I really exist? I'm a puppet who was made with fake memories planted in me. Did I ever have a heart? I was a sham. A fake. Everything about me was an imitation. What did I need to become real? Or maybe I was the real version of a fake? That time when I was supposed to have dissolved and disappeared into the darkness, I was instead wandering around the realm of darkness. In that world where I could see nothing and hear nothing, a faint light came into view. I don't really remember what happened after I discovered the light. And then I appeared in front of him again. But I knew that someday I would end up wandering in the darkness once more. If I said I wanted to see the light again in spite of that, I wonder if she would laugh at me. What was it that I, a mere puppet, obtained in that castle where you forget everything? Fake memories. In other words, a fake heart? But that fake heart believed in a single light. I can't even remember the name of the girl who drew in her sketchbook in that white room. Even so, I fought for her in that castle. And now, who or what am I fighting for? I wasn't able to see her again. I wonder where she went. I wanted to see her, but I couldn't. Instead, I met many lights. And then I met him. That guy, the real version of me, isn't someone I have to eliminate anymore. He's a friend. The proof is that the feelings lighting this imposter's heart are very warm. That's how he made me feel. I'm going to disappear again. I need to. Even if I dissolve into darkness, I'll remain among them, and my body will become a vessel for another heart. I'm glad that heart is hers. By doing this, I'm sure nobody will forget me now. I have nothing but fake memories, and someone will treasure this vessel more than I did. I'm going to disappear, but part of me will be left behind, so it's okay. I'll be a vessel for her precious memories. I'm going to disappear. This time, I'll return to your heart, as memories, and then maybe you'll see her again, and my memories will be unraveled at once and become yours. That girl is dear to me. I hope you'll look after her for me. With this, I'll finally be myself. Nobody else but me.
Don't forget me. The sunset is beautiful. The three of us loved watching the sunset like this. I always wondered why it was so beautiful. We ate sea salt ice cream and had silly conversations. It was really fun. That reminds me, the three of us promised we'd go see the ocean together sometime, didn't we? I wish we'd gone to see the ocean with Sora and the others. I was in darkness, but it was a very comforting place. That's only natural because it was inside Sora. But nothing was there, and I didn't really exist because everyone had forgotten me. It's really sad to be forgotten, because if you're forgotten, you have nothing. But now, I'm eating ice cream with the two of them again. It's because everyone gave it their all. The truth is, I should have never existed. I was just a puppet. I can't even believe I'm smiling right now, but I'm really glad I am. Thanks, you two, for remembering me, for never truly forgetting me. I chose to go away because I couldn't just let Xemnas have his way. That's why I had no regrets. Now, I remember that I disappeared in Roxas's arms in front of this clock tower. And then Roxas went to sleep too, and only Axel was left. Axel really might have been the saddest one of all of us, because he was the one who forgot the most. Forgetting and being forgotten are both sad. I still worry a little bit about whether I should be here, I wonder just a little if I really shouldn't exist after all. But I'll be okay because the two of them are with me. It's fine for me to be here. If the worst happens and I'm forgotten again someday, that still won't change the fact that I was here. So please don't forget me. Because I won't forget you.